Wow, this is what a great space. I'm so grateful that you guys set this all up so beautifully, and I'm just overwhelmed with love. There's so many people here that I know from, oh my God, hi. This is so cool. So I'm on a little bit of a book tour right now, and I wrote my very first book called Song of the Sparrow with HarperCollins, and it's a memoir about my life in music. And I've had the chance to travel all the way from Victoria, BC, all the way here, and I'm going to do the East Coast in a few days. But I've been looking forward to tonight so much. I love Montreal. I love Ralph. He was really important to me when I was at Network. This is the prologue, and it's set on Prince Edward Island when I was 9 years old. It's called The Key. I still had sand between my toes when I stepped barefoot onto the plywood stage at the country fair. Like most mornings, the summer I was 9, when we were living in the tent by the beach, the best way to get clean was to jump in the ocean. The waters of the Gulf Stream that flow around Prince Edward Island were as warm as a bath some days. The mornings could be a little brisk, and the soft, cool breeze made us shiver as we emerged from the ocean and walked onto the shore. It was like being born every day. Our bathing suits were hung on the tent lines to dry, and inside, the constellations of mosquitoes on the nylon ceiling were fat and full from a night of feasting on the children. I looked down at my bare feet, at the pink sand from this morning's rebirth. The stage looked splintery. I didn't have time to get my shoes because my name was being spoken into the microphone, and the crowd turned their attention to the stage. A hand reached down and pulled me up. My little sandy feet walked me to the microphone, and it was lowered in front of me to the exact height of my lips. I looked out, and I saw my mother smiling. Jenny had appeared and was beaming at me, surrounded by the other kids. Shay sat on the grass right in front of the stage, looking up at me with giant blue eyes and thick, uncombed hair, all crickets released into the grass. Most of the faces in the crowd were kind and expectant. Parents hushed their children. The music began to play. Where are the words? I thought, I know this song. What are the first words? My heart jumped into my throat. What if no sounds came out? The words flooded my brain just in time. So many nights I'd sit by my window, waiting for someone to sing me his song. I thought of my father and how often I would wait for his headlights to come down the driveway and light up my wall, throwing dancing shadows that promised the sound of his voice. I closed my eyes and poured all my pain, all my longing, and all the love I had onto the people in the field. My voice carried over the land, through the trees, and into the sky. My arms raised up beside me, and it was like I was conducting the clouds. I pulled the sun into my hands and through my body, and my voice was amplified 1,000,000 times, resonating in every cell the sound could reach. When I finished, there was silence. It felt like it took a long moment for the applause to begin, but it did. I smiled shyly and bowed, and turned to thank the musicians. They had tears in their eyes. I got off stage, and Izzy was there. He pulled me into his arms for a hug, shaking with emotion. "Look around," he said. As I lifted my eyes to the crowd, there were grown men sobbing in their overalls, wiping their faces with dirty cloths, and looking at me. Izzy, with his arm around my shoulder, walked me over so I could meet them. I shook rough hands and looked into tender eyes, and even though I was determined to be normal, I had to admit, I loved making people cry. It was different than a cry of pain. It was a cry out of pain. There was often a smile with the tears, a sun shower, something mystical, something healing, something light in the ever-expanding darkness guiding us home. What I didn't know at that moment was that I had just found the key to my survival. Thank you. Something changed me. This is gonna stay. I can feel the wounds are opening. 'Cause love, you are everything. Teach me how to bow when I am breaking. And when the ground falls beneath me, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna hold on to the edge for dear life. I'm gonna lay here in the dark. I'm gonna lay here in the dark. Hold my hand, let's jump together into the deep end. Let the river take us somewhere we've never been. London bridges falling in love tonight with our footsteps and the lights. And we're all alone, but there's a million people dancing all around us, and the ghosts of another time. And you kissed me like you can't believe you're mine. Something about this feels like it just lives in the moment. It'll spend forever in my mind. Something about this makes me wonder if I've even been alive until now. Maybe that's what love is all about. Hold my hand, let's jump together into the deep end. Let the river take us somewhere we've never been. London bridges falling in love tonight with our footsteps and the lights. It was pretty cool. It started in a yoga class.
As most great things do.
And I was looking in the mirror, and I felt these words coming through me. This essay started. I had this sort of conversation in my head, and I left yoga. And after the class was done, of course, I didn't leave in the middle because I thought that would be bad. And I ran home, and I just wrote this essay, and I sent it to my friend, and she's like, "You have to post that. It's really good." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it. Why not?" And anyway, it went completely viral. It was published in a bunch of magazines, and it was about being a woman in the music business and body image. And it just sort of shocked me how it hit a chord with men and women and all genders. Like, people were just really, really into the story and the writing. And this woman named Carolyn Ford, who is at Transatlantic Literary Agency, she's a lit agent, she saw the post, and she called me and said, "How would you like to write a memoir?" And I was like, "I think I'm writing a memoir years old. I'd be into that." And so she said, "Just write me a couple chapters." And so I did. And then she gave it to HarperCollins, and HarperCollins called me right away and said, "I love it. Let's write a book." Yeah. So it was kind of magical, really, you know? And it kind of reminds me of the story of how I got discovered for music, right? I was just singing with my friends on a ferry boat, and two people from the record label were on there and signed me. And I've had that publishing deal that I got on that boat that day for 28 years. So, you know, it's just been such a magical ride. Yeah, that really, when you're writing a memoir, is the big piece. Like, you totally nailed it. It's about, you know, I'm telling the story from my perspective and my vision, and a lot of it was from when I was young. So I had to corroborate a lot of memories with people. I had to do a lot of interviews, especially when the depiction of them wasn't always pretty. And I was really lucky that the people I spoke to all gave me permission to share the stories that we shared, and said, yes, you know, I except, you know, the ones who passed away, I don't know that I could have written the book when they were alive. So it feels right that it came out now and that the opportunity came now. But yeah, some of it was pretty sticky. And honestly, like, I'm so proud of my mom. If any of you in here have read the book, it's a lot about my mother's story. And she gifted me with the family secrets and scandals to make it extra juicy. But it's big stuff she hasn't told anybody. So, she basically hid the day it came out, and she was just like freaking out, and we were both freaking out. But in the end, what's happening is that people are sending me letters and saying, thank you for sharing that. I want to tell you something that I've never told anybody. And so all of a sudden, the story that I have for my life is being carried by others, and I feel so light. And I feel like now I'm helping carry other people's stories, and it's getting lighter that way. Like, we can carry each other's stories and see each other as human beings. And the important thing in my book was that, the important thing to me when I was writing it, was that every character, no matter how deplorable their behavior, was sympathetic because they're human beings deserving of redemption and compassion. So no matter what you read, by the end of it, each person will have some kind of, I try to get the bird's eye view of humanity and our fallibility and our, complexity and nuance, and yeah. So it was difficult, but I did it. Oh. At a certain point, I feel like we have to just give zero fucks. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just, just be really brave. Like, just be as brave as we can. There's just no time to do anything else. So whether it's your art or the way you love people, or whatever you're doing in your day, like, do it fully. Do it fully with your heart wide open, and just go for it. Because I feel like the world has been so strange, and I don't know. We've just been in this place and in this cocoon, and I just kind of feel like humanity is bursting out of that, and I want to be part of that. I want to have wings. I want to burst out of this into this next phase of our existence as human beings and do something good. And I'd like us, to evolve in a way that's loving, right? And there's so many examples of evolving in a non-living way, and I would like to be an example of the other, because I think that's the antidote. But that's the plan for the next album. I want to just go and do a whole bunch of co-writing. That's my dream, is just to write with the best writers that I can find, and just make a really broken down, raw album. Not super lush, just something really real, and make it all about the songs. Yeah, that's in the next project. Oh, and I'm going to do a symphony show, so I'm working on the charts. Because I believe in sequence, and the symphony is kind of like the ultimate opportunity to go head to toe. So yeah, coming soon to a city near you. Okay, so I'll sing one more song, and then we'll mingle? Okay. All right, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Allison and Ralph and BBam. That's what I'm going to call it. It's just so, BBam. Is it like the accent is on the first beat? Okay. So this is a cool story. My dad, who passed a year ago today, is also Donna's dad. This is my sister Donna right here, my niece Maria. It's her birthday, 30 today. So he used to tour as a duo with another Canadian songwriter named Jean MacLean. And Jean used to, I guess it was like 20 years they toured, but they were full on gospel music. So they would tour prisons and churches, and sometimes they'd drag us around with them, and sometimes we'd sort of just be left at home, but they really used music to bring people together and sing about faith and love, and I learned how to write songs by watching them write songs together, because 1 minute there would be no song, there would just be these two people with these feelings, and then bam, like they were wizards, the song would appear, and I would watch them, sing harmony with each other, and it was just amazing. So when things started to go weird and we glitched into this bizarre time that we just started moving out of, I called my friend, Catherine MacLean, who is Jean's daughter. And I said, do you want to write a song? Because I think you and I, since we were in utero, have been practicing for this moment to write a song that can maybe hold us through the dark. And so we wrote this, and it won Song of the Year at the PEI Music Awards, which is kind of a big deal to us. It's a big deal in Charlottetown, and it's called This Storm. And thank you again, all of you, for being here. Really, really cool. I want to come back to Montreal a lot.
Yes.